Choose to Create podcast, man. We
Yes,
on
sir.
episode 18 already. As I told you, I'm Jamaican, so once I get something, it ain't gonna go to waste.
I can't, man. I can't.
You know
I,
what I
I know
mean?
you're probably doing like 10 jobs today. That's like the foundation of being Jamaican.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Sometimes they be like, "Oh, you're doing too much." It's not that. It's not that. It's just better time management.
Right.
That's how I look at it. I just got to manage my time better.
Right.
That's it.
And the truth be told, not everybody can focus on multiple things at one time. You know, and that's just how it is. There's some people who can run a business and wear all 10 hats, and it's no big deal. Some other people, you give them 2 jobs, and it's like, okay, this is a lot. You know what I mean? So everyone's just different. They're at different places. And look, as an entrepreneur though, and a Jamaican entrepreneur, there's a different level of hustle that comes with that territory. Yeah. So I respect it.
That's real, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate you spending your time and coming through and kicking it with me to,
of course,
you know, get on this podcast with us, you know, just vibe, talk a little bit about, you know, how we've came up in this creative space and building a business, building an agency. Yeah. You know, not just a company, not just like a production company, but like an agency where it's a lot of collaboration being done to, you know, do big projects and things of that nature. So, sure. So I wanted to introduce to the Choose to Create team. Everybody already know who you is out here in Fort Lauderdale.
That's crazy.
But to the rest of the world, you know, Alex Bailey in the building.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me, man.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you being here, man. So, yeah, we was chopping it up a little bit about taking breaks. And, like, as we were just talking about being Jamaican, having 10 jobs.
There's no vacation. There's no breaks. You're on go. 100%.
Hard work is second nature to us. Hard work is a comfort zone almost in a way for us. So taking a break is out the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
that's true.
I know how some people may be like, oh, it's hard to work for them. For me, I have to work.
Yeah.
And taking a break is something that is like almost like an afterthought.
It's,
you know?
It's odd too, because part of me is like, you know, the culture obviously that we grew up in. It's just exactly what you just said. Like, we don't talk about vacations or breaks. I mean, I can count on both hands how many times we've taken a family trip growing up as a kid. I've watched my dad start and launch his own construction company from scratch. To this day, he's still working. He's well into his 60s at this point. And it's just the nature of you know, kind of who we are as a people. But I think it also speaks to the fact that, like, we're immigrants. You know, we weren't born in this country. And I look at it like, well, my parents, you know, worked their butt off just to get here in America in the first place. So for me now to not take advantage of every opportunity given to me, for me not to work hard to honor what the sacrifice and all the hard work that they've done to get me here, it's a slap in the face. So I do think that there is a level of like appreciation for what's available that I think we as immigrants, so to speak, have. But also, you know, I just think that, like, as a general rule of thumb, as a human being, you have to take advantage of everything that's out there for you. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be on my deathbed telling people, oh man, I wish I did X, Y, Z. I wish I would have. Now is the time. You know, we've got to work hard now and go after what we want. So yeah, there's not much time for rest and relaxation naturally. So it's something that we have to think about to get it done. And I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't take vacations.
That's big. Shout out to the ladies, man.
Yeah,
telling
for sure.
Telling us to rest. It's okay to breathe and sit down and not work today.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad.
That's big.
I'm glad you said that, because especially as a man, right?
Oh yeah.
There's this whole stigmatism about, like, we don't talk about our feelings. We don't need anything. We just keep going. We always got to be strong. That in itself gets exhausting. We need a break just because of that alone and that thought process. You know what I mean? So, you know, add in the wife that you have to consider now. Add in the kids or whatever else is responsibilities on your plate. It's a lot of pressure. So it's important for anybody, man, woman, child, whatever, to take some me time to recalibrate, reset, and come back at it at 100.
Nah, 100%, man. That's how I've been able to take breaks, and I've found that I've been able to perform better with better breaks. So vacations, right? So as we both have agencies, right, and we're always creating content and giving of ourselves, our thoughts, our ideas to all of the people that we work with, right?
Absolutely.
So when it was time for me to take a break, my girlfriend, she was like, "We going to New Orleans for like 10 days."
Oh wow, 10 days, whoo.
Bro. I didn't know the amount of days. She was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to New Orleans. We're taking a vacation." I'm like, "All right, cool. Just put it on my calendar so I could see it."
Yeah.
I ain't even really check it.
Right.
So when it got close to the days, I'm thinking like 5 days or something like that. 7 days tops. 10 days. I'm like,
that's crazy. But I know when you got back though from that trip, even if you did nothing there, I know just not doing for 10 whole days, you came back. First of all, I know you were itching to get back to work. That much I know.
I was in the office as soon as I got back.
Yeah. No, you never left the office. That's the crazy part about it, man. But yeah, I know that you were already itching to get back. But after 10 days, you feel like an abundance of energy. Like, clarity, if anything. Just like I'm so focused now on what the goal is. I know what I got to do, and I know what I need to do in order to get to wherever it is I need to get to. And that's the importance of these breaks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Resting allows you to get that step back to see what's going on, to observe yourself, to observe what matters to you, observe everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives that. So them 10 days in New Orleans, I seen all the colors of those different houses, the architect, the ground, the concrete, the food.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
I'm sure.
So the drinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The good time I was there, me and my lady, we did a tour of New Orleans and all that stuff. We was like right there in the center of everything. So it was a good experience, and that alone allowed for new thoughts to come in. So a lot of times when we're doing as creatives, we have to have a space of like rest, so that way we can have our imagination just float on its own.
Absolutely.
And that's when you have those early mornings where you get some ideas and some like. So I got some really, really great ideas that I've been able to implement just from like not really just. It makes creating fun again.
Yeah.
Because you had that time to kind of like go into wonderland and just like be in the now and get enough experience to then give to the art.
That being the now part is super important, man.
Oh yeah.
Super important, bro.
Oh yeah.
So I like that, man. I'm glad you're able to take that break, bro. I know that you are here grinding. I see it. I see all the posts. I see what Content Factory is doing. And I'm like, man, this guy, bro, and again, I knew we were going to talk about this at some point. Coming from, our days when we first met, this was like, what, 8, 9, 10 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
And, we were both rocking like the little Canon T2i, whatever it was. And 10 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
And it says a lot about the resiliency. It says a lot about the discipline to get to this point, man. So I just want to take an opportunity to say, look, man, I see what you're doing, and to keep up at it. Like,
hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. Like,
always,
for real, man. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when we met, that was 2012. We met, and we both was rocking the T2Is.
Yep.
But I had the L lens. I had the 24 to 70.
I did not.
He was like, yo, what were you doing with that?
I was like, what? Like, hold on, what's that red ring on it?
Yeah. Like, it's an L.
I was like, L.
And even from then, it was like we had a abundance mindset because we was sharing of each other. Like, you would show me certain things that I didn't know, and then I'll tell you certain things. It was just like, it wasn't like I was like, it wasn't like it was nothing being held back. And the same thing from you. It was like, you was just like, anything that you knew, anything that I asked, you would tell me. You feel what I'm saying? And vice versa. So it was like, from the very, very, very start. And the first time we met.
Right. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, I think we get into this mindset sometimes as creatives that, everyone that's also a creative is also competition. And I get it, we're a small group of creatives in a similar area, whatever, but it doesn't have to be that way. Change your perception of it. I'm looking at you as an ally, as a partner. When I can't, you can. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, what does it take for me to be able to share my experiences and knowledge with you and vice versa? And then we both end up growing and then taking that back home to our businesses and continue flourishing. So when the time does come, there's a $50,000 job on the line, I'm unavailable because I'm taking a $100,000 job on the line. I know somebody who has the same amount of wealth and knowledge that I can pass that on to because we both came up and we both helped each other elevate. You know what I mean? It's not competition at the end of the day. And vice versa. There are going to be times where you need me on a job. Great. We have that kind of connection and we do our thing. So,
exactly. Creatives, other creatives is not your competition. They're your collaborators. That's collaborations. That's a chance for collaboration. That's a chance for growth.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
Because like, even as creatives and being able to like, say for instance, work as a team, you may be in Atlanta, and you may need me to cover something on the Blieve Media. Yo, I need you to cover this event.
Yeah.
You know that, okay, this person have enough. You know what I mean? Like you have enough wealth in the game to manage not only just you taking pictures, but managing the production while I'm not there. You feel what I'm saying?
And more importantly to that point, it's one thing to be able to know what you're doing with the camera, but can I trust you with my clients?
Exactly.
Can I trust you to deliver the same level of experience that I want my clients to have?
Exactly.
And that is invaluable. Like, you're not going to find that everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a very few handful of people that I can say, hey, yes, I would have no problem referring this person because I know they're going to give them the same quality experience that I would deliver if I was there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And so going back to the main reason why we're talking about this, just being able to share with one another and not look at you as, hey, you're taking bread off of my table, but more looking at it like, no, we're helping each other build each other's foundation in a house. So it's a win-win. You can't lose.
And that's why we here right now, you know?
Absolutely, sir.
Like literally, like Blieve Media, you feel what I'm saying? Like I've seen the growth from the very beginning. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm an artist. So as an artist, I look for inspirations.
Yeah.
And I need other artists that's doing really good things to inspire me, right? So that's what I look for. And you're one of the artists that I always looked at and be like, okay, I see where he's going with this.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
You know what I mean? And the great thing about being an artist too is like no matter what, I could say I'm gonna shoot exactly just like you. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna come out the same.
It's not,
because my interpretation
is different.
It's different.
You have different eyes, a different thought process. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same settings on the camera, but none of that matters. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that's dope. That's the beauty of being a creator, bro. Like, we inspire other people, the other people inspire us, and you know, we take what we get and we put our own spin on it and make it our own. And nobody else can fabricate that. That's why I've gotten to this place of like, look, I'm not seeing anybody who's also creator as competition, because at the end of the day, there's no other Alex out there. I am the best version of me that you will find, and I'll stake anything on that. But I also can't do what RJ does. Exactly. I also can't do what Billy and Tom do. You know what I'm saying? So you're not competition. It's just different. And that's okay. So yeah, man.
And then like even with that, like let's go into like even with the business side of things, like just like so like from collaboration to even being the main, like you know how in construction they say like the general contractor and you have subcontractors.
Yep.
Like I always seen like the whole entire business model being changed from this whole hierarchy sense, because like on every set they say, oh, I don't know who's in charge, like who's in charge. Like we are all like collaborators here,
for sure.
You know what I mean? We are all brothers. Like I don't want, like sometimes I may be running point, I may be running producer on this set, but that's just what I'm playing in that set. Next day I may actually be director, or I may be a behind the scenes photographer,
or a PA, or whatever the case may be.
But I could play any part on any production set.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna play my part very well.
That's important.
You know, so like with this whole new business structure, whereas that collaborations where agencies collaborate with other agencies. You know, photographers, like businesses collaborating with other businesses to serve one overall purpose, just like how you do with construction. Right.
That's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to have a project manager who oversees, or I guess the GC at that point, but ultimately, everyone is bringing their strengths to the table. So I know that if we're on a set, I trust my PA to PA. I trust my DP to DP. I trust, whatever, because we're professionals. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, we're not above whatever. It's just today I'm wearing a different hat than I was yesterday. Yeah. And that's just what this particular project or production calls for. That's what it is.
Nah, 100%. And then like with building that team and having that like how we are saying, having that level of trust to be able to like have multiple teams and grow as a team.
Yeah.
Like, we could work together, but we got to spend some time together too, man. We got to hang out and just,
Absolutely.
Get some food, have some lunch, like have some laughs, get to know each other, know what each other's dreams and ambitions are. Because I want to fight for your dreams, Right. I don't want you just to be like, oh, just collaborating with me to achieve what I want. You know what I mean? I want to help you or play some type of part and help you push forward in achieving your dreams. The only way I could do that is if I know what your dreams is.
I agree, 1,000%.
So that's like what happens when you go out, you hang out with
Other creators.
Yes,
sir.
You know what I mean? And you build that relationship. You start collaborating. You know, you don't see other content creators as competition, but you know,
as an ally. You know what I mean? So and I'm even thinking about like pricing. You know, that's one of the things that everyone, you know, strays away from, and no one wants to share what they charge and blah, 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 blah. My thought process is if we as creatives were a little bit more transparent about that, I think that we could start to shift the industry. Because one of the toughest challenges about being a creator is having to educate your client as to why you charge what you charge.
Yeah.
You know, and they simply just don't get it. They don't get it. And I think if we at least had more conversations as creatives to say, hey, look, I'm not afraid to show you what my pricing structure is or whatever I do in fear that you're going to undermine me or undercut me with my clients, whatever, just to be able to say, hey, look, dang, I'm not charging enough because if this guy and these 10 people are all roughly in the same ballpark financially and I'm way under that, I'm the one that's holding up the field, the profession, the industry. I'm the one that's like messing it up for everybody else. Yeah. I want to raise my prices. For one, it's going to make me more money, but simultaneously, then I'm on par with everybody else. So now our customers are come to expect, hey, I'm going to pay X, Y, Z for quality production because that's what everyone charges. So, and we can't do that if we aren't talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Yeah.
100%. And collaborating. Like, so like, even with that, it took like learning like how to present your value, how to show them the value to the maximum before. So like even like right now, I've changed my sales process, right? Yep. So I used to do 15-minute chat, you know, do a 15-minute call just to see what it is that your goals are, what's the vision for the project, when you need it done by, and what's the budget, right? Quick 15-minute chat, and then from there, based off that, I could know if we could move into a discovery.
For sure.
And I usually did a discovery, and then after the discovery, I would, you know, present a proposal basically in that same discovery or whatever.
I hope these people are paying attention because that was some very high level, sophisticated sales process that everyone should be doing. So I hope y'all paying attention. Yeah. RJ, bro, you killing this right now, man. Go ahead, bro. Teach the people.
But yeah, like even like what we were talking about is like we don't, you know what I mean? You don't hear that many people talk about it because this is like so important and it's like a real game changer. Like, but once I added like even a form submission before getting to the phone call, that added a whole new level of the type of people I was kind of like communicating with that understood my value a little bit more. Yeah, yeah. And then once they filled out that form, I'm sending like a video that's giving them like, oh, how to create, how to set up your own video lighting in your own educational piece.
Give them some value.
And then once they get to the discovery, having a clear set of like structure of the conversation. Yep. You know, you have that brief little 2-minute catching up, but then goes right to work. You have to have a clear framework. You don't have to ask the same type of questions that I may ask. Right. You know the type of questions you need to ask for your industry. For sure. But having that clear framework and making sure it's done in that time where,
and just make it repeatable. Yeah. And at some point in time, you're not going to need the framework anymore because we do this every day. We do this every day. It's the same conversation.
It's in your mind, man, but it's easier to train someone. It's easier to be like, hey, this is the framework. This is a guideline. It's not a script. Yeah. It's a guideline. Now, you start here. You bring them here to make it serious. You got to have that being personable but professional. Yep. I'm personable, but now let's get to work. I know you're busy.
And I also don't want to take up too much of my time.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. You know, so just like those little things in the sales process, like I was shout out to my coach, man, Mitch. I was telling you about Mitch the other day. Yeah. Man, I feel like that is something that really changed and leveled up a lot of different things for me, like just having a business coach. Yeah. And sure. I never really like thought of it. That's not something I even thought of it, but I heard of it before. I've heard many of people talk about business coaches.
For sure.
You feel me? So once I got one, I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense because it speeds up your whole process.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. So it's funny you mentioned that. You know, every time I get people who ask me questions about like how did I get to this point, blase, 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 I always default back to the fact that I didn't have a mentor, coming into this industry, and it would have saved me a lot of headache, a lot of trouble, and a lot of time, because I did a lot of things wrong, like most of us do when we're trying to figure something out. Like, we're learning the technical aspect of being a creative, and simultaneously, somewhat trying to focus on the business side of it too, and trying to make that balance. But at the same time, a new camera just came out, so I got to focus on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so one thing that I wish I had was just someone to say, hey, look, you're doing it wrong. This is the better way to do it, more efficient way to do it. This is how they do it in the industry. Take it and do with it as you will. And I think that would have helped speed up the process for sure. And I think you are a true testament to that exact concept. The fact that you have a business coach who, is directing you and saying, hey, look, this is probably the better route to go down to do your business better. And I mean, even just sitting here for the last 20 minutes, however long it's been, I can hear your growth and just the things that you're talking about. It's very high level stuff that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, creatives don't talk about.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have a process in place that's repeatable, that you can pass off to somebody else, so you're not stuck doing it every single time. The fact that you have a framework of how the conversation already goes, that bro, I'm telling you, the growth is amazing. And I think that is a true testament to Mitch, and also just your own experiences of you being in this game for so long. You kind of learn, you pick up, like, all right, man, I can't do things a certain way, and blase. So that's kudos, man. That's dope.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. Cause like that's just like, and that's how that's why this podcast is here. Just for us to have this kind of conversation.
For sure.
And we have this type of conversation all the time, like how we had conversation about pricing and how to price ourselves and how to like basically show them why it's this price. And like, I've like practiced on trying to do it. And now it's almost getting to the point where it's like, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I got to do a lot.
It's a lot.
I'm like,
it is a lot, man.
Yeah,
it is a lot.
But it's worth it. I'm like, okay, you got to do a whole entire, like, it may take you like 2 hours to put together like a presentation.
I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you. I got one waiting at home right now. I'm like dreading it, but I'm like, this is what it takes. This is what it takes.
Literally, like it may take like when it's like a proposal. It got to be worth it for you to write a proposal, man. Because a proposal
for sure.
could take what, like an hour, 2 hours?
It could take longer because you got to think. I mean, and I'm just thinking about my last proposal that I just did for a client. I had to do research on. Bro, I'm giving out trade secrets right now. I had to do research on the client, and that's the number one thing that I think videographers like omit in their process of trying to quote things. How do you know what to charge if you don't even understand the people's like business? And I had a client a couple weeks ago who we sat down. It was an editing job, so she had a bunch of footage already that she wanted me to edit for her. And I sat down with her, and it's like 120 gigs worth of footage, so we had time to kind of sit and chat. So I pull up her website. I'm going through it. The website page by page by page. I'm asking questions. She turns to me and says, I don't think she was trying to be rude, but it was kind of rude. Why are you asking so many questions? And I was like, well, I want to understand you better. I want to understand your company and what it is you're trying to accomplish. So when I go back to edit, I have a framework of what needs to be done. Like, if I don't know who you are or what your business is, I'm not going to deliver something that's on brand. I'm not going to deliver something that speaks to your target audience. I need to know who I'm dealing with. And she goes, I was just trying to ask because no one ever cares to ask that question. And I'm like, and to me, I think creatives forget, man, like, yeah, the camera and the cool videos, that stuff is fun. But ultimately, I don't treat it, I treat it less of a service business and more of I'm in the people business. Bro, if you can lock down a good conversation and really dive into, who you're working with, you are 1,000 times more likely to sell that client on whatever it is that you offer, regardless of what your price is. Because what I'm learning is that clients don't just buy the product anymore; they're buying you. You know what I'm saying? The podcast we just finished up, I just left from. I brought one of my friends, Ali, who's also a creator, A1 Bokeh, and he says to me that he has some client that he's on the hook to go to like Arkansas or something like that to go film for, and the guy has never seen any of his work before. I was like, so this guy's gonna fly you out and pay you handsomely to come shoot a video? That makes no sense. Why? He's like, I don't know, man. We just started talking, and the guy said he likes me, and that was it. People are buying people. or buying into people, I should say. That sounded pretty bad. They're buying into people.
Yeah.
And if you aren't professional, if you aren't approachable, if you aren't friendly, if you aren't caring enough to consider them and their business, you won't get that business. Or at least if you do, it won't be repeat business. So
that's major, bro. Like
bro.
As you were saying that, bro, I'm like, wow, that's really where I feel like I seen where I was able to level up and give a better service. When I started stop focusing on just like the video itself and started focusing on like who they are, what their goals are. Like I got the same question. They're like, why are you asking me all this? Like I just want a video.
You're right.
You asking me about my goals for the year?
Yeah, because
what are you asking me, brother? Like,
I'm gonna give you another gem. I'm gonna give him another gem, bro. You know the number one closer for me now that I'm starting to realize, and I swear to you on everything. I just had somebody call me back today, and I think it's because of this line. She was asking about pricing. I gave her my price, and she says immediately, "Oh, I know another videographer who does it for cheaper." Okay, cool. Look. At the end of the day, I want you to be satisfied with the product. And if you can find that satisfaction in a cheaper route, you've got my vote. I want whatever's best for your business, whether it's with me or somebody else. Ultimately, I want you to be able to hit your goals within the confines of your own budget. So I understand, and I don't take offense to that. And she was like very tight-lipped about like sharing information about the project, and until we agreed and we're moving forward. So I was like, okay. She wouldn't even show me an example video of what she wanted until after she knew for certain she was going to go with me. I was like, okay, cool. I hung up the phone with her. An hour later, I got a text message. Here's a YouTube link of the video I want to do. She already had somebody who she thought in her mind she was going to be satisfied with, and at a cheaper price. So she really had no reason to come back to me other than the fact that, look, I'm all about the people. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if there's anything that you can do, if you want to increase your sales, if you want to increase your revenue, if you want to increase just your volume, whatever it is, become a company that services people and not dishes out cool videos.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
There's a content creator on every block.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that. So, yeah.
That's the only thing that separates you, doing that market research.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes, sir.
Like creating, and like that's what I even had on the call today. I was letting them know, like, listen, creating and production day is that's the party.
Yeah,
that's the best day.
All day.
The energy is turned up. Everybody's
ready
having
to go.
A good time. Networking, you getting all your shots. Everybody is all dressed up. You getting everything that you need, bro. Like that's like the best day, but that's not going to be a good day unless you plan. Without proper planning, having a shot list of what you want, having a clarity on like what you want, clarity on call to actions, clarity on your message, you know, who's your audience, how you want them to feel.
It's important.
If I could get a good round of like a good feeling of that,
you're in business.
We have to have a clean, planned out shot list that they could see and sign off on and be like, okay, I approve
that part. And I'm so glad you said that, because I think creatives kind of or tend to like omit doing a storyboard, for example. And I can't tell you how many times that saved my butt, because it's like, all right, cool. If we don't have a storyboard, I just go in there haphazardly thinking, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I have the shots here, which is fine. Client isn't aware of them. They just understand the final product and they get it. And they're like, wait, what is this? Like, why are these scenes going in this order? Like, it doesn't flow right. It doesn't feel right to me. And now I got to go back into editing, use one of the revisions, or maybe it's a complete like re-edit because I didn't do my due diligence in the very beginning. I love that you said that having the client sign off on the shot list. Every time we do a storyboard, I email it. So there's a paper trail and I tell them, hey, look, I just need you to give me the okay, the approval if you like the storyboard. If not, let's revisit it and see if we can revamp it. We'll spend more time in pre-production than actual production, because that way when we go to production, that's how it goes by so smooth. Like, we already planned this out. We know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And post-production is even faster. The story's already told itself. We already have it lined up in the storyboard. We just got to piece it all together. The footage, color, audio, music, export. Good to go. Done deal.
Yeah, I feel you, man, because I did a production today as well.
Yeah,
Like, literally, like, we knew exactly what to get. Simple shot list.
Yeah, make it easy for yourself, man. Make it easy.
And it could be as simple as for each movement, wide shot,
Yep.
medium close shot,
Tight shot.
OTS, over the shoulder shot.
Yep.
For each movement, you get your 3 shots. Just having that laid out for yourself.
Yeah.
When you go into editing and you talk to your editor, because that's another level of collaboration.
Yes, sir.
Now you gotta communicate. You're gonna give your editor all this footage, and you guys gotta sit here and collaborate on the whole project.
That's time consuming, and it's redundant. We don't need to be. Why am I holding your hand through this editing process? If I did my job properly
With the shot list, you just give them that.
Look,
this is the creative brief, bro.
Here's a whole treatment right here. Here's a color grade that I need afterwards, and sometimes I'll even send them the actual LUT to use on the color on the footage. So, yeah, man, yeah.
That's really what it is, man. You feel what I'm saying? But that collaboration, it takes that communication going back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, and having those signed off things in the early part. It makes everything so easy from production to pre-production. If you do all the hard work in the beginning,
oh yeah, it's easy.
And
it's easy.
Trust me, they'll fight you. They'll be like, "Listen, I don't want to do all this. Like, I already did this before.
Let's just get it done.
Can't we just film next week?" And that is a red flag
for sure.
You feel me?
And
because
even
if they do that, and you create something, and what can you say? You have to say, "No, I'm not taking this project."
And if not that, you need to make them sign off on the fact that they are refusing to see the storyboard beforehand, and that we're not going in there with a pre-planned out shot list, and that they want to see. Yeah. Let them sign off on it. Yeah. And you know, the podcast we just wrapped up was with Max, so you know he's a lawyer specifically for creatives. Yeah. So we got heavy into the conversation of contracts and protecting ourselves and whatnot as creatives. So make that be a part of your initial contract with them. Hey, every client is required to approve a storyboard, and if they don't want to approve the storyboard, we will use our own discretion to create a storyboard that fits, obviously, you know, what we believe is going to bring us to the end result that you're looking for. But ultimately, it's your responsibility to, as a client, to approve that. And if not, then I told you.
Yeah. And if not, I probably might not want to work with you.
I don't blame you, because obviously you don't take your business that serious.
Yeah, you don't take your business that serious, and that means you leaving me. Like, from my past experiences, anytime that has happened, when I skip that phase where it's like, okay, have you seen the shot list? Skip the phase of even creating a shot list or whatever like that, because it's like a rush project. It's like, oh, we're doing something this weekend, or we doing something like next week.
Problems.
It's like, it's always became an issue. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just having that extra time to create a shot list, making sure that we know that even if we're doing it next week, just making sure that, hey, well, today we got to make a whole shot list then. Yeah. And I'm gonna need you to approve it before production.
We start shooting. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, there's no problem, but just as long as you're willing to do, pay an extra price, because we got to do more work in a shorter time period, and as long as you're willing to do the work with us, because it's not like a magic trick. Yeah, it's a collaboration. I got to know your vision, like how you were saying, getting to know the business owner, right?
And they have this weird thought of like, hey, you guys are the professionals, so I trust you to do whatever you do. Yeah, I get that.
What does that mean? Like,
I get that, but again, as a creative, my vision is different than your vision. So my vision may be, let's just say it's a gym video or something, right? My vision is like, I just want to show a bunch of dope, fast-paced shots, music, heavyweight lifting, grunting, sound effects, all that stuff. Amazing, great. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about bokeh. I'm thinking about dynamic range. I'm thinking about all these other things. You know what I'm saying? As a business owner, you're thinking, I want this video to increase my membership. And that fast-paced video is not going to do it. But I don't know that, because we haven't sat down and had a conversation about what your vision is and what your goals are. And that is the number one flaw that I see we as creatives do when it comes to the client onboarding and hiring and sales process. Like, we don't do enough homework or ask enough questions. So,
hey man, this is gold. This is gold right here. Gold minds think alike, man.
I like that. I'm gonna have to steal that. I'll have to steal that. Gold minds think alike. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, because like that's important, man. That's some really, really valuable stuff. You just like that's the one thing I love about, like, just even like conversation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's like education ain't just like reading books and like and education is conversation.
Absolutely.
So you got to know who to have a conversation with. You know, you gotta pick the people that you want to have your conversation with. Like, I forgot, Erykah Badu had a song about that, something like that. Like she picks who she speaks with, how you spend your time, where you spend your energy at, you know, and just being mindful of that. You feel what I'm saying? And just like making the most out of that time, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
So I like that you said like it's not just about like education or like getting knowledge or whatever. I mean, in my mind, I'm not much smarter than anybody else out there who's a content creator. I just have experiences that I can share with other people. And I also in turn take other people's experience, internalize it, and think about like, dang, what would I have done in that situation? What should I not do in that situation? What I should do? Like I think, and like, I don't know where it says it, maybe it's in the Bible. But it says like a wise man doesn't learn from his mistakes. A wise man learns from others' mistakes. So yeah, this is why it's important to have conversations. I'm learning a ton from you just about the sales process. And that's stuff that like I have like an idea about it, but you went into depth just now. You know what I mean? And if these conversations don't happen, how can we bounce ideas off each other and continue to grow? Going back to where we started with this conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah. And even with that, like my business coach he started off our training with like, man, if you don't have leads, if you don't have customers, you don't have a business.
Right.
So you got to be always constantly filling that pipeline.
Yes, sir.
You know, creating more leads.
That funnel is important.
You know, creating more leads, and the thing is, it's like that's like on the online sense. You hear that kind of conversation, leads. But in that's marketing, right? But marketing is always also in person. That's
for sure.
Relationships.
For sure.
You feel me? Nurturing those relationships just like how you nurture leads.
And sometimes that's more important. To be honest with you,
for me, that's way more important because that's why Content Factory Media Group is still here, bro. Like, we wouldn't be here if it's not building those relationships and networking, like really going out and networking. You know what I mean? That's important.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be honest with you. That's the number one thing that I've slacked with my business, and it's a product of wearing so many hats. You don't have time to go out there and meet new people and spread the word about your business. But coming in, ending 2021 and coming into 2022, I mean, it was very evident to me that I didn't want my business to live or die by word of mouth, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of my business came from just, hey, someone heard about me, and that's great, that's awesome, but I want to be more proactive about it. And proactive looks like many different things, whether it be running ads or whatever. But part of that is going out there and getting the business, telling people who I am and what my business does. So, yeah, man, I mean, I know we have a lot of podcasts to go through, man. But if this is like the two things that bug me the most about entrepreneurs is one, and these two things bug me, and I'm going to say this because I did these things. So I'm trying to help everybody else not do these same things. But I spent way too much time focusing on gear. And don't get me wrong, I still love a good camera. Let it be new. I'm all on it. But when it comes down to, hey, do you spend money on the new camera or do you spend money on building your business, whether that be ads or getting a business coach or whatever the case may be? Make the right decision. And I'm sure you know what it is at this point. And the other thing was just not focusing on the business part of your business. We have creatives, we just care about the creative part. And people are telling me, oh, you got to go do this and do that. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I don't want to talk about taxes. I just want to go out there and shoot. Like, that's what I came in here for. But that's going to be the difference between these fly-by-nights content creators who pop up every day, and 6 months later, they're back to a 9-to-5. No disrespect.
Yeah.
But if you say that this is what you want, understand what comes with it.
Yeah, you got to work. You got to put in the hours. You got to be disciplined. You got the time management. Got to be really, because it's a lot of hours that you have to put in.
For sure.
And it's a lot of work you have to put in. So you have to manage that time.
Yep. And a lot
to be
of
a content creator. Because
for sure,
we wake up early. A lot of people think that we wake up late. We wake up early. We wake up like 5. Sometimes we have shoots early in the morning. We wake up pretty early.
For sure. Every day.
But we work long hours too. We work night times and stuff like that.
Weekends, holidays. Yeah. I mean, you name it.
Still have to wake up early, have a turnaround time, have content delivered.
And that's why a team is key.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly why a team is key. Yeah, man, 2022 is definitely, or 2021 really has really showed me the importance of putting the right pieces in place around you to help build your brand, build your business, take some of the load off of you, and really just, you know, scale. And you can't do that by yourself. It's just not going to happen. You can't be the jack of all trades because you literally will be master of none, and you'll be back filling out applications again for a job. So
100%, man.
Not a girl, man.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you jumping on the podcast with me.
Of course, man. Of course,
bro. Been fun on this road. Been fun growing, like fun seeing your growth. You feel what I'm saying? Like we always collaborating. We always like. I'm sure you, like you told me, you're like, oh, I see you always posting reels.
Yes,
it's
sir.
like, cause I remember when you was like hint.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh shit.
I need to get back to that.
I'm on that.
Yeah, I know.
It took me a long time to figure out how to be like, you know what? I gotta plan out like a month in advance.
Oh yeah.
Post.
Oh yeah. And
you know what I mean?
You know what? So I'm glad you brought that up too, real quick. Something that has been messing with me, bro, for like the last month and change, is who is your audience? It's one thing to just keep on posting, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, and it's weird because I do this for other people all the time. Hey, this is the type of content you need to make because this is what you're in. This is what people want to see because whatever. And I turn around and ask myself, what about Blieve Media? Who is your audience?
Yeah.
What is it they want to see?
Yeah. Who you need to talk to.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I've slowed down on pushing out content for me because I'm like, you know what? I got to figure that part out, like what it is that they want to see.
You know how I found out my audience?
Sure.
Like literally like last week.
Yeah.
Look at the last person that booked you for a job that you wanted to do, and look at their title that's under their in their email.
The last job you wanted to do.
Yeah, the last booking job that you enjoyed, that your strength is at.
Yeah.
And look at their job title, whether it's director of events,
That's
director
interesting.
of management, whatever their title is.
Yeah.
Whatever that's your
That's weird. That's weird for me, man. Because mine was a commissioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last job I did was that I was like excited about. Yeah. It was for a commissioner.
Yeah, so that's the job.
That's what I need to be targeting. Yeah. All right, well, I gotta go change my whole game plan. Let me make some notes real quick. I like that though. Yeah. I like that's a good way to like kind of like.
Or that's one of them. You could pick another one.
Yeah,
another one. You know what I mean? That's like
it's a good starting point.
These are the titles. These are the people that I'm talking to. So I need to create content that connects with them directly.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
What would be useful for them? You know what I mean? I won't have to create maybe an hour-long video about how to do a whole video production. They would prefer to have that rather than like a 1 minute flash. Oh yeah,
right.
This is and the third. They might want an educational piece.
And everyone's gonna be different.
Yeah, so
everyone's gonna be different, man.
Whatever that director, whatever her name is, whatever her title is, or his title is, right?
That's what they want, man.
Okay,
that's good stuff.
Let me look at all the titles around this. Like, let me look at the last few events that I enjoyed. Okay, these are the different. All right.
These are the type of people I need to start targeting with my message. Yeah, for sure. I like that, man. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Getting that right customer profile so that you know what it is that they like, what they want to see, and you kind of go for it. I think sometimes as creators we get stuck in this like, you know what? I see what the big YouTube guys are doing, or the big guy, the Big 10 or whatever they are on Instagram, and they're putting out travel videos. They're putting out whatever, like some dope content. But really and truly, some of your clients just want to see your BTS. They want to see if you can do the job. It's not just about the finished product is amazing. Like, what's this process like? Yeah. And some people prefer that than the actual finished product. Yeah. I know I do. Yeah. Sometimes I love seeing a great video from another creator, but I'm like, how do they do this? Like, I want to see this BTS.
Long format, 20-minute video.
I'm cool with that. I'm more excited about that sometimes than the actual short 3-minute video that they put out. So I know I'm weird like that, bro.
Yeah, bro, that's how I am too, and there's a lot of people that's like that as well. So it's like really like looking at that and just like even taking it a step further and being like, okay, let's look at these two people that I enjoyed my best job with. Now I'm gonna interview them. Yeah, I'm gonna do market research and see what it is they, that's how I learned about them. Okay, where are you from? What's your belief? What's some of your hobbies? Yeah. What groups are you a part of? What organizations are you a part of? Like, what do you do when you're not working?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Build that customer profile.
Where do you find your information?
Yeah. How did you find me?
How did you find?
Look. I'm in the bag right now, bro. I'm telling you right now, that is my number one question I ask with every inquiry that comes in because I need to see what's working. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I
started. Why did you choose me? Like after you seen me, like what was it about it that made you press that button and be like, I want to work with them.
Bro, I'm gonna give you another gem real quick, bro. Yeah. So a year ago, somebody contacted me about doing headshots for them for their business or whatever the case may be. They actually worked at a bank and they need to get headshots done. And he was like, yeah, I found a couple of people, but you appeased me the most, like appealed to me the most. And I was like, why? He was like, honestly, you just had the most Google reviews.
Get them Google reviews.
Google review. I am telling you.
Google is my good friend.
I'm telling you, man. Look, stop spending so much time watching these tutorials about color grading, about making dope travel videos. That stuff is all cool. It's all fun. But focus on building your business. If you're trying to make this last, if you're trying to make this a thing, take it from the person who has failed at this so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just like blowing steam here. Like, I'm being honest with you. Focus on building your business, scaling your business, putting the processes in place to make it sustainable with or without you. I just got back from vacation, bro. 3 jobs done that I was never even stepped a foot on set. That to me was the biggest sign of my growth as a business entrepreneur.
That's big.
That's huge.
That's big.
It's nothing to brag about per se, but it's an accomplishment for me because I know me.
And it's a big shout out to your team. It's a big
absolutely
shout out to
that you can trust them.
It's a big shout out to the hours and hours you guys put in and just like getting to know each other.
Absolutely.
That's a big shout out to that.
And that's just a leader thing, bro. Like, you just know what your team's strengths and weaknesses are and you play into them. And that's it, man. So look, spend time working on your business. I can't stress that enough. Like, you'll get the technical side of it. You'll get like all the equipment, like all that stuff is going to come by default as you're shooting. But what won't come by default naturally is just you being a better business person until you like be intentional about it. So yeah, man, I'm gonna leave it with that. That's important. That's so important.
You already know, man. Always dropping the real out here, man. Always dropping things that we can use to edify and grow.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it's all about. Truth to Create podcast. Yo.